Imagine opening an app, having a bad experience with the service, and then deciding to sue the company for millions of dollars. Sounds extreme, right? But in the age of viral social media stories and public outrage, lawsuits against companies are becoming more dramatic and sometimes even stranger. From rideshare disputes to viral complaint videos, people are increasingly asking one big question. Can someone actually sue a company simply for hurt feelings? Let's break down the reality behind the growing wave of social media-fueled lawsuits. The internet courtroom, before a lawsuit ever reaches a real courtroom, it often begins somewhere else first: the internet. Platforms like TikTok, X, and YouTube have become places where people publicly share complaints about companies. A frustrating customer experience can quickly turn into a viral post. A video explaining a dispute with a business might receive millions of views overnight. Once a story gains attention, the pressure on companies can increase dramatically. But does public sympathy automatically turn into a legal case? Not necessarily. When complaints become lawsuits. In most legal systems, you cannot successfully sue someone simply because your feelings were hurt. Courts typically require proof that a real legal harm occurred. Some common legal claims against companies include negligence, discrimination, breach of contract, fraud, defamation. Without evidence of one of these issues, lawsuits rarely succeed. However, the situation becomes more complicated when emotional distress is involved. Emotional distress claims. Some lawsuits do include claims of emotional harm. In certain cases, courts may recognize emotional distress as part of damages, but the standards are very strict. To succeed, a person often needs to prove that the company's actions were extreme, reckless, or intentionally harmful. Courts generally look for situations where the behavior was so severe that it caused measurable psychological harm. This high legal threshold prevents the system from being overwhelmed by minor grievances. The rise of rideshare disputes. Modern technology companies are increasingly involved in legal disputes because millions of people rely on their services every day. Rideshare platforms like Lyft and Uber connect drivers and passengers through apps, creating complex interactions between users, contractors, and corporations. Most trips happen without problems. But when incidents occur, such as disputes with drivers, service issues, or safety concerns, they can quickly escalate online. In some viral cases, passengers have threatened or filed lawsuits after negative experiences. These stories often spread rapidly across social media, generating huge public reactions. The power of viral outrage. One reason these disputes gain attention is the power of viral outrage. When someone posts a complaint video that sparks emotional reactions, viewers may rally around the person sharing the story. Comments and shares amplify the narrative. Sometimes public pressure alone forces companies to respond. Businesses may issue apologies, refunds, or policy changes to protect their reputation. However, a strong social media reaction does not automatically mean a lawsuit has legal merit. The legal system still requires evidence and clear legal arguments. The court of public opinion. Social media has created something that many observers call the court of public opinion. In this environment, companies may face reputational damage long before any legal judgment is made. A viral post can shape public perception within hours. Brands that rely heavily on consumer trust are particularly sensitive to this kind of attention. This is why many companies have dedicated social media teams that monitor complaints and respond quickly. When lawsuits do make sense? While some viral lawsuits may seem exaggerated, many legitimate cases exist where companies are held accountable. For example, lawsuits may occur when companies fail to ensure customer safety, violate contracts, or engage in deceptive practices. Consumer protection laws exist to protect individuals from harmful or unfair business behavior. When evidence supports these claims, courts can order compensation or policy changes. So while hurt feelings alone may not qualify as legal damages, serious misconduct absolutely can lead to legal consequences. The business impact. Even when lawsuits fail, they can still impact companies significantly. Legal battles require time, money, and public attention. A viral controversy may affect brand reputation, investor confidence, and customer trust. As a result, businesses often attempt to resolve disputes quickly before they escalate into larger conflicts. Social media's double-edged sword. People can now document experiences, share evidence, and bring attention to issues that might otherwise go unnoticed. However, the same platforms can also amplify misunderstandings or incomplete stories. Legal reality versus internet drama. Many viral lawsuit stories sound dramatic because headlines often simplify complex legal issues. In reality, most lawsuits involve detailed investigations, legal arguments, and months or even years of court proceedings. Simply feeling offended or insulted rarely meets that standard. As technology companies continue to dominate daily life, disputes between consumers and digital platforms will likely increase. Apps handle transportation, food delivery, payments, entertainment, and more. At the same time, legal systems around the world are still adapting to the complexities of the digital economy. So, can you really sue a company just because your feelings were hurt? In most cases, the answer is no. However, legitimate lawsuits can occur when companies break laws, violate contracts, or act negligently. The internet may turn disputes into viral drama, but the legal system still relies on facts, evidence, and careful judgment. Now we want to hear your thoughts. Do you think social media is helping consumers hold companies accountable? Share your opinion in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep dives into viral stories, internet culture, and real-world controversies, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our next video.